is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are country.
It's a business person special here in Denver this afternoon. The Dodgers hoping to get back to the business of winning games. Getaway day baseball. The Dodgers taking on the Colorado Rockies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Denver. I'm Eric Collins alongside my partner, Steve Lyons. The Dodgers, they've lost the first two games so far in this series. They desperately need a win today. And, Steve, they're going to have to do it without Matt Kemp.
Well, just a horrific head-on collision for Matt Kemp with the center field wall. Your best player on your ball club just smashes into that center field wall. Really lucky for himself and Dodger fans that it's nothing too serious. Might have to sit out a couple days because you know he's sore right now, but this could have been way, way worse.
So with Matt Kemp out of the lineup today, of course, that's going to change the dynamic of Don Mattingly's lineup card.
Well, it is. It puts a couple different guys into the lineup, and plus it means that other guys have to step it up. Guys like Adrian Gonzalez and Ramirez and Ethier. Those three guys in the first two games of the series are hitting just a $190 in one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks in all of the game.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will take a look at what the end of the season holds for the Dodgers. Just 32 more games left. Dodgers and Rockies coming up in a moment. The 2012 season, Dodgers and Rockies finishing off a three-game series. The Dodgers hoping to win this afternoon game and at least take one game in this series against the Rockies. He's Steve Lyons. I'm Eric Collins. Season coming down to the stretch drive right now. 32 games left. Take a look at the Dodgers schedule, and it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, after leaving here in Colorado, you go home for a crucial home set against Arizona and San Diego. Then it gets ridiculously tough. 12 of the last 32 games in the Dodgers schedule is against teams that are leading their division. Talking about teams like Washington, Cincinnati, and San Francisco. They also have 4 more games with the St. Louis Cardinals. This is a team that's got to turn things around very quickly and play good baseball against good teams. Conversely, the San Francisco Giants have the easiest schedule of any team in baseball for their remaining games.
Well, it all starts right now for the Dodgers. They would love to get a win this afternoon. Joe Blanton's going to get the start, looking for his first Dodger win. Joe Blanton against Drew Pomeranz and the Colorado Rockies. Our first pitch in a moment. Dodger Baseball is brought to you by the new wireless receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. By El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. By the full line of fuel-efficient vehicles at your Southern California Toyota dealer. And by Time Warner Cable. Welcome back, everyone. Coors Field, lower downtown, Denver, Colorado. Final time the Dodgers will play here in 2012. This is game 3 of this 3-game series. The Dodgers losing both on Monday and Tuesday. See how it affects our Kia standings. The Dodgers now 3.5 games behind the Giants in the West.
And we talked about those standings with 10 games before the Dodgers have to play the Giants coming into this series. Now just 8 games against teams that the Dodgers should beat. If they could get rid of that deficit in the division, maybe find a way to get a lead before they have to play San Francisco, it changes things. Maybe the Giants have to pay attention and worry about climbing back to the top of the division as the Dodgers start playing stiffer competition.
Giants playing tonight against Houston. Barry Zito on the mound for the Giants. Take a look at the Dodger batting order. It is without Matt Kemp out with that left knee bone bruise. So it's Mark Ellis once again leading things off. Shane Victorino, his first Dodger start as a center fielder. Adrian Gonzalez moves up to third. Hanley Ramirez in a cleanup. Luis Cruz hits fifth over at third. Andre Ethier, Juan Rivera, A.J. Ellis, and Joe Blanton making his 5th Dodger start, looking for his first Dodger win.
Well, Joe Blanton has struggled so far in a Dodger uniform. We'll see if that changes today. Drew Pomeranz, also a guy that has struggled. Look at the 1-7 record, the ERA of up over 5. He did pitch well against the Dodgers in his previous appearance. He's got a good fastball, 92 to 94 miles an hour coming from that left side. He's got a couple different curveballs. He's got a curveball that his father taught him when he was a kid, kind of a spike curve, a knuckle curve, where he has really just one finger on that curveball as he throws it. Big overhand 12-6 curveball he throws. See if the Dodgers can get to him today.
Former first-round pick of the Cleveland Indians a couple of years ago. He was traded right around this time last year in exchange for Ubaldo Jimenez. Pomeranz also joined by Alex White, another former first-round pick who came over from the Indians. Mark Ellis will lead things off. Ellis, Victorino, and Gonzalez 1, 2, and 3. Ellis was the leadoff man yesterday, moving Victorino into the number 2 spot. So Don Mattingly changing things around here in Denver.
Pomeranz, as you mentioned, a first-round draft choice out of Mississippi. His father was a 4-year letterman there. His brother, Stuart Pomeranz, pitched in the Cardinals minor league system for 5 years.
One pitch to Ellis. Catches the outer edge. Home plate umpire today, Lance Barrett. He raises the right arm. It's a ball and 2 strikes to Ellis.
Colorado pitchers in this series have utilized the changeup to Dodger hitters very effectively. I don't know if that's the book on the Dodgers, that they're good fastball hitters, get them out in front. But the changeup's been a tough pitch.
And what's new? Yesterday was a busy night for the second baseman for the Colorado Rockies, DJ LeMahieu, and now he's busy here recording the game's first out. Defensively, Carlos Gonzalez back in the lineup. Out left, Tyler Colvin, Charlie Blackmon over in right, Nelson, Rutledge, LeMahieu, and Pacheco in the infield. DJ LeMahieu, 12 assists in yesterday's game. And Pomeranz throwing to the veteran backstop, Ramon Hernandez.
Starts today's game off with a putout rather than an assist.
Victorino swings at the first pitch, lazy fly ball to right field. Blackmon makes the play, and there are 2 outs. Yeah, the Dodgers have come to this hitter's paradise, and Rockies pitchers have made them seem mortal. Just 4 runs scored so far in the series. Adrian Gonzalez would love to become involved. He doesn't have a hit so far against the Rockies. He is 0 for 6 over the last 2 games.
A little bit of a different look for Agon today. Shaved off the facial hair.
Rockies winning game 1 on Monday, 10-0. Yesterday, an 8-4 victory. This one will make it into the stands. Both starting pitchers for the Rockies so far in this series, Jeff Francis and yesterday Tyler Chatwood, have gone the classic 5 and fly. 5 innings of work, and then immediately the bullpen called on. And the bullpen's been able to finish off the job both games.
Talked to Adrian today about his brother Edgar, who we saw many times playing against the San Diego Padres when they were both in the same organization. He told me that he was in the Giants organization earlier this season, and in May went back to Japan. That's his second tour of duty in Japan, playing in the Japanese baseball leagues.
Pop up. It's going to be playable for someone. Shortstop Rutledge makes the play. 3 pop-ups induced by Drew Pomeranz.
How could you call off LeMahieu on a play like that?
gets Mark Ellis, Shane Victorino, and Adrian Gonzalez to all pop out. And now the Rockies will head to the bat rack. This is what Jim Tracy's lineup card looks like. Tyler Colvin's had a nice series. Josh Rutledge, you can say the same thing about him. Carlos Gonzalez had the day off yesterday. Jordan Pacheco is the cleanup hitter. Ramon Hernandez, Chris Nelson, DJ LeMahieu, Charlie Blackmon out in right field, and Drew Pomeranz does have a home run on the season. They will face Joe Blanton.
Joe Blanton, 6'3", 235 out of Nashville, Tennessee. Remember, he missed most of the 11 season with elbow problems. He has struggled in a Dodger uniform. You see the numbers, 8-12 overall, 0-3 with the Dodgers. He's going to throw all 4 pitches. Pretty comfortable with any pitch at any time. Nothing really overpowering about Blanton.
One ball, one strike to Tyler Colvin. Colvin led off the bottom of the first inning back on Monday with a home run into the second deck in right field. Hits this one off the end of the bat. Shane Victorino makes the catch. That's a good start. Dodger pitching has really had trouble in recent first innings. Rockies have scored in the first inning of the first 2 games of this series. And dating back to the last week, Dodger pitching has given up at least 1 first inning run in 7 of the last 8 games and 8 of the last 10.
Really been a problem area, and you just don't know how to figure that out. Sometimes when you warm up on the bullpen mound, it feels a little different. You come into the game, things are a little bit different when you get out there and throw on the regular game mound, but that's something that just has to be rectified quickly.
Fastball misses inside to Josh Rutledge. .348 batting average for Rutledge. Spent the first 3 months of the year playing AAA baseball. Right through the wickets into center field. I believe that went right through Joe Blanton's legs. First base run of the game for either side.
If it did, George Brett's theory holding true once again. You'll see a ball go through someone's legs in every ball game you ever see.
Somehow his legs are about 6 inches apart and it went through. So Rutledge on at first. Blanton will pitch out of the stretch. Carlos Gonzalez got good career numbers against Blanton.
Yeah. I'd say 6 for 9 with a couple homers.
Broken bat could be 2. Hanley over to Ellis. Throw to first. Not in time. Cargo got down the line in a hurry and keeps the inning alive.
Well, one of the tools that he has is the speed. If he doesn't hit the ball hard, like that was a jam shot right there, he's got an excellent chance of beating it out. He knows it's going to be tough to double him up. If he smokes the ball, one hopper at an infielder, he can bounce into a double play, but not on a ball like that.
So 2 outs. Run on at first, Carlos Gonzalez. Jordan Pacheco. Pacheco doesn't have that classic power that you'd like out of a cleanup hitter. But we have seen this guy is an accomplished hitter in his own right. Got a couple of doubles among his 3 hits so far in the series.
The struggle has been finding him a place to play defensively.
Look at Hanley Ramirez with the backhand. Nice play, and the side is retired. Hanley going into the hole, making a nice backhanded play and a picture-perfect throw to second for out number 3. That's the way you do it. Second innings next. Hanley Ramirez leads things off for the Dodgers here in the top of the second inning. Ramirez, Cruz, and Ethier to bat against Drew Pomeranz. Both Pomeranz and Joe Blanton throwing 9 pitches in the first inning. Either side has been able to score a run. Pomeranz out of Central Casting if you're looking for a big league pitcher. 6'5", 230 pounds. This is his 16th start of the year. Kid's got a chance. He can bring it up there mid-90s. Big roundhouse curveball.
Well, he's young too. I mean, he was just in the 2010 draft, so got to the big leagues quickly. Got to give pitchers, and generally left-handed pitchers, a little more time to figure out command of the strike zone. I remember when Clayton Kershaw came to the big leagues. Everyone talked about how big an arm he had, but he still hadn't figured out his command of the strike zone and command of the pitches that he wanted to throw. But I'll tell you what, I've never seen a more amazing transformation from a guy who really didn't know how to throw strikes, from a guy who absolutely commanded the strike zone like Kershaw did in a year.
Hanley hitting a home run in yesterday's game. It came leading off the 9th. Got it off of Carlos Torres. An aggressive swing and fouls it straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Somewhat surprising. Hanley Ramirez hits much better against right-handers than he does against left-handers. Just a .228 batting average against southpaws. And 17 of his 21 home runs have come against right-handers.
Hanley Ramirez married Albert Pujols' cousin. Some talent in the gene pool there. We've seen him bang out a ton of RBIs since he's been with the Dodgers. One of the most amazing things I saw was Manny Ramirez when he came over, 53 RBIs in 53 games. Hanley Ramirez has mirrored that. Maybe not with the power numbers and the gaudy batting average to go with it, but he has driven in the runs that he's supposed to drive in when they're out there for him. He was the first National League shortstop in history to get an RBI in 10 straight games. Did that back in '09. So he's continued that trend.
Off-speed pitch. Hanley's out in front. First strikeout of the day for Pomeranz.
Once again, off-speed, breaking ball, gets those Dodger hitters out on their front foot. Bad balance. We'll take a look at it from the side. Not the type of swing that Hanley wants to take.
So 4 up and 4 down for Pomeranz. And now Luis Cruz will bat. Cruz had his modest 5-game hitting streak come to an end yesterday. Came on to pinch hit in the 9th inning and struck out to end the game. Third baseman Nelson with the backhand. Rockies not a very good defensive team. They are dead last in all of Major League Baseball in terms of fielding percentage and the most amount of errors committed. But they've been pretty good so far in this series. Jim Tracy's team has made 1 error. That was by his catcher Rosario back on Monday. A throwing error that didn't eventually cost them anything. How excited is Jim Tracy? His team was spiraling out of control. So many wonderful veteran players injured, not able to play for the last month or so. But over the last week and a half, you could make the argument they have been the hottest team in baseball. They've won 8 of their last 10. And the first 2 games of this series in which the Dodgers have been significantly disappointed. Dodgers hoping to go on a run right now.
Well, one thing that Jim Tracy is finding out is what he's got in his organization. Obviously, you have some of the bigger names out right now with Tulo and
Helton. You don't know how much longer Helton's going to play. Giambi, same situation. They're pretty much at the twilight of their careers. But you're finding out what you have in Josh Rutledge. Jordan Pacheco is hitting over 300. Chris Nelson has done a nice job. You look at some of these guys. Charlie Blackmon playing today.
Tyler Colvin,
who just had an abysmal season last year, has come back and played very, very well for this team this year and reestablished his career. Once he gets his regular players back, he knows what he has to fill in behind those guys. And he's going to have an excellent bench on a team that should come back next year and be a better club.
Yeah, in this series, we've seen one pinch hit appearance from Dexter Fowler. Tulowitzki, of course, hasn't played. Giambi, the same thing. Michael Kadire hasn't played. Todd Helton.
Man, I forgot about Kadire. One of their best players. One of the reasons why they signed Kadire was the thought that he would probably move in and play first base when Helton decides to hang him up.
I mentioned it yesterday. A combined 1,070 home runs not playing in this series for 4 different Rocky players: Kadire, Helton, Giambi, and Tulowitzki. Pomerantz strikes out Ethier. A couple of strikeouts now for Pomerantz. He has retired the first 6 in order. Scoreless game in Denver. Here in Denver over the last couple of days. Wow, that's an impressive camera.
Bigger
for
than
a little
kid.
guy.
How does he carry that thing around? He's going to just lean it up against the dugout.
That's a dad who trusts his kid. Now, Dodger fans haven't had much to cheer about over the last couple of days. Rockies 10-0 winner on Monday, 8-4 win yesterday. This is Ramon Hernandez leading things off against Joe Blanton. Rockies coming into this game, 27 hits in the first 2 games of the series. Almost half of those hits have been extra base hits. 13 extra base hits of their 27. Ooh, that may be the weakest swing we see in a week and a half. Ramon Hernandez down in the count 0-2.
Well, this is a stadium that's conducive to extra base hits because of the huge outfield. If you make an outfielder move at all, most hitters are thinking 2.
Blanton strikes out Hernandez on 3 pitches. First strikeout for Joe.
Well, good looking at bat right there for Joe Blanton. Not so much for Hernandez. Good movement at the end of that pitch. Down in the dirt, chasing. There's another guy, Chris Nelson, with good numbers against Joe Blanton. A home run. Couple hits.
Nelson started all 3 games. here in this series. Went 3 for 4 on Monday, with a single, a double, and a triple. Backs away from that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. A ball and a strike. Dodgers playing without Matt Kemp. Left knee bone bruise, crashing into the wall in center field in the first inning of yesterday's game. Softly right side. Blanton's going to have to hurry. Gets to the bag in time. And Gonzalez feeds him beautifully for out number 2.
College football starting up. Looks like Agon could have been a little option quarterback. Watch the flip. That's a tough timing play. That's a sweet play by a gifted first baseman.
Won a Gold Glove in both leagues.
What strikes you about a play like that is just how calmly he did it. Like he does it all the time. That's not a play that you really work on at all. You got to have a lot of confidence in your ability that you can just make that play.
DJ LeMahieu, former Cub, he takes called strike 1. LeMahieu 3 for 8 in the series. He's driven in 3 runs. And as good as he's been with a bat in his hands, he's been even better with the glove. 12 assists in yesterday's game. 12 ground balls were hit to him. After the game, he said, you know what, didn't even realize that it was just so routine. Into center field, it's going to get down. 2-out base hit for LeMahieu.
You know, go back to that play that Agon made, but also A.J. Ellis, a big part of it. As soon as the ball's hit, reminds you of spring training. Listen to A.J. Ellis, what he's telling Joe Blanton to do. A.J. screaming at Blanton to get over to cover first base. Not a lot of people in the crowd here today. You can hear it. That's the old PFP, pitcher fielding practice that they do a million times in spring training. The catcher reminding the pitcher to get his tail over and cover first base on any ball hit to the right side.
And Steve, you know it's universal because the 3 guys who are involved all were at spring training at different camps. AJ, of course, with the Dodgers, Blanton in Philadelphia. And Adrian Gonzalez at the time, of course, was with the Red Sox.
Every once in a while, a pitcher will throw a pitch and is so into what he's doing, will forget to get over there and cover. We see it happen quite a bit during the season. It's a big mistake. It's ingrained in the pitchers in spring training. But it's a smart move, as AJ made, to make sure that he's screaming at him to get over. Maybe he'll realize I better get over there pretty quickly.
Charlie Blackmon went 2 for 4, getting the start yesterday. Second-round draft pick out of Georgia Tech. We have seen in this series he can really run.
He's long and lanky. He's a tall guy for a second baseman. We talked a little bit about his situation, LeMahieu, about the general game plan that they're going to move Rutledge over to second base when Troy Tulowitzki comes back, and LeMahieu has done virtually nothing to disappoint anybody with his play. It's got to be a little disheartening to be a guy known that, well, yeah, someone's going to take my job here soon just because a star player is going to come back and play short.
2-2 to Blackmon.
He certainly hasn't shown that. He's gone out and continued to play hard and play well.
And Jim Tracy says he's a winning player. Proved it as a college player. Won a College World Series at LSU. And he was the main offensive threat for the Tigers. There he goes. Ball is hit well into center field. Victorino got a great jump and makes it look routine. Side is retired. No runs, a hit, one man left on. Scoreless game at Coors. Dodger Baseball is brought to you by Hyundai's Summer Drive Sales Event, now through September 3rd. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. Well, a nice afternoon here at Coors Field, 90 degrees. For our first pitch, scoreless game. Rockies have a couple of singles against Joe Blanton, but that's it. Joe's been fairly economical with his pitches. 9 pitches thrown in the first, 15 in the second, 24 total. His opposite number, Drew Pomeranz, the exact same thing. 24 pitches through 2 innings, 9 in the first inning, 15 in the second. Pomeranz has not allowed a base runner, however. He's retired the first 6 in order with a couple of strikeouts. Juan Rivera will bat.
Rivera 3 for his last 10. Generally over his career, pretty good hitter against left-handed pitching so far this season. Just 246.
They have broken the bat. It's a foul ball.
He's disappointed about that. I think he must have put a lot of work into that bat and liked it. It looks kind of, outside of the pine tar, you see all the pine tar over that bat. It looked kind of brand new. Guys will go in there and doctor their bats up, put a lot of time into them. You take one swing and break it. Ugh.
What are some of the things that you did to your bat to get it game ready?
Well, you can bone your bat, which is kind of, a lot of the theory was they had this big old ham bone or something, and you'd rub the barrel of the bat on it to try to tighten up the grains of the wood, to harden up everything. Sometimes guys will sprinkle a little rosin on the barrel of the bat and then bone it. Might be technically illegal. It's not a substance on the bat that actually helps the ball jump off of it or anything, but makes it harder.
In a left field, that's got to get down. Dodgers first base hit. Rivera takes a turnaround first. He'll put on the brakes. Nice throw back to the infield by Carlos Gonzalez. Leadoff single for the Dodgers.
A lot of players use different types of pine tar, or the Manny Mota stick, which is also a sticky substance that acts very much like pine tar. A lot of guys tape the handles of their bat. I shaved the handle of my bat down because I have short, stubby fingers. I needed a thin-handled bat. Guys will spend a long time really meticulously taping the handle of their bat. If they do tape it, it's not like they just whip out the tape and tape it up and let's go. They take a long time figuring out exactly how they want it done.
A.J. Ellis batting against Drew Pomeranz. What about the top of the bat? Some guys have the cup in the top of the bat. Other guys do not.
That's a personal preference thing as well. The cup takes some of the weight out of the bat, so you can order a little bit heavier piece of wood and then take that cup out. Not sure exactly how much weight comes out of the bat, but maybe let's say an ounce. So if you like to swing a 32-ounce bat, you can order a bat that's technically 33 ounces. Then they cup it. Comes down to the 32 that you like to swing, and yet theoretically you're swinging a heavier, denser piece of wood. You're not using that end of your bat to hit anything with, or at least you hope you don't. Then, over a period of time, we've heard of people that would cork their bat, which is completely illegal. The corking of a bat is the same theory. You're swinging the same mass, the same density of a bat, but you drill down through the barrel of the bat, take the wood out, fill it tightly with cork, and now you're swinging a much lighter bat with the same mass.
Little number, right side, foul. I remember stories of guys filling up their bats with things other than cork. I remember rubber balls.
Tennis balls, tennis balls. They're too big, but
it was a Disco Dan Ford playing for.
Did Craig Nettles do the same thing? Swung a bat, broke his bat, and a bunch of balls came bouncing out of it.
Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, it's called cheating.
So you do have a problem with it. Is it same thing as any other form of cheating?
Yeah, yes, it is. That's kind of a big one. There's little things that guys do that are technically cheating in the game. Guys do it every day in this game. They do it, people do it in everyday life. Every guy that has a 9-to-5 job trying to look for a way to do it better. It might be a little bit illegal or a little bit cheating or not the way you're supposed to do it. The day after baseball was invented, someone was trying to figure out a way to cheat to win.
AJ tips that at the plate. No. It's not caught by Hernandez.
Oh, he's saying that he did.
Home plate umpire is Lance Barrett. It's the first time that he has been behind the plate since he had an altercation. It was over the weekend with the White Sox.
Corey Blazer's coming in from first base telling everybody what he saw. Let's take another look. Oh, that ball bounced.
See, Hernandez thinks he trapped it against his knee. At least I'm hoping that's what he thinks, because that ball definitely hit the ground.
That's a good job by Blazer to come down from first base, who has a good angle of that play, saw exactly what happened. The ball bounced out of Hernandez's glove, hit the ground, and then came back up, and he trapped it on his knee. At least that's what I think we saw here. Let's check it out again. In the glove, on the ground, bound up. I can almost see where Hernandez thinks that he did keep it in there, and maybe he didn't feel it come all the way out of his glove and bounce off the ground and come back up.
Another broken bat, and this one's going to result in a base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Dodgers leading off this third inning.
No balls came bouncing out of that bat, did they? This is just strength right there. Good hitters get jammed. That ball is in on AJ's hands, but we've seen so many times now over the last few years with the maple bats where guys will hit a ball right on the barrel and the thing will explode. Just the bat gets weakened after a little bit. You've used it for a while, and all of a sudden it just explodes on you, even though you may have hit it right on the screws.
Bunting situation for Joe Blanton. Gets it down, only plays it first. Nelson throws to LeMahieu. That's the first out in the third inning, but Rivera now on at third, and Ellis follows him over to second.
See Joe Blanton getting the job done. Perfect position right there, and then boink. Right off the bat, right down the third base line perfectly. Maybe having a conversation about bats. Get the bats going. Got some guys on second and third now with just one out. The Dodgers threatening.
A.J. Ellis on at second. Juan Rivera on at third. Just one out. Mark Ellis the batter now. Swings at the first pitch. Knocked down by Pacheco. And everyone's going to be safe. Dodgers score a run. Little cue shot with some English on it. Pacheco can't keep it in the mitt. And the Dodgers are going to score a run.
Watch Rivera on the play coming from third. Watch him hesitate first. We didn't see it right away. Now he breaks for the plate. It's probably, I think it would be scored in error, but we'll see. Watch Rivera. This is a really good job on him. First he's going to see the line drive. He's got to hold up. Now it bounces away from Pacheco, and he's going to come in and score. Really nice base running. They did not have him running on contact. Had to wait to see what happened, and when the ball kicked away, he scored. And it is, in fact, an error on the first baseman.
I wonder if Pacheco had to backhand that. Looked like he could have gotten in front of it and smothered it.
Well, when we talked about the big problem with Pacheco is finding him a place to play. Defensively is not his forte out there.
Couple of Ellis's on the base pass for the Dodgers.
Mark Ellis. We'll take another look at this. You see Rivera coming down from third, holds up. This ball kicks away. And then it's a foot race, really, in two different directions to try to get to the bag. Mark goes way inside the line, still well within the baseline, and did a good job of sliding in and touching the base on his way by. I find Mark Ellis to be one of the more candid, matter-of-fact players you're ever going to bump into. During a commercial break of the pregame show, when I was sitting out there on the field, I asked him about that pop fly yesterday that he didn't catch. And I said, Mark, did someone call you off on that? He said, nope, I screwed it up. I just messed up out there. I said, wow, because it looked to me like you bailed out of there because someone else was calling you off. I would like to have spoken to him longer about it, but he said, no, it was just my fault. There's a ton of guys who would think of an excuse to tell you. It's never been that way.
Well, even though he reached on the error, he does get an RBI. And now this is a fair ball. Nelson showing off a huge arm. Doesn't get it over to first in time. Infield single for Victorino. And the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead.
Now this is a beautiful play by Nelson. Anyone else but Victorino, he gets the out here. Maybe another break for the Dodgers, and they've needed some. Remember, we told you when Nelson was growing up, he was a pitcher, and he could throw 100 miles an hour. He eventually blew out his arm and had to become an everyday player somewhere else. He was a tremendous talent growing up. He showed off a little bit of that arm right there. The Victorino speed beat it out.
So Mark Ellis and Shane Victorino with RBIs now, still just one out. And Adrian Gonzalez swings at that pitch, and ball gets away from the catcher Hernandez, and it's going to allow both base runners to move up.
I'll see what happened here with Hernandez. This ball just gets down in the dirt and skips right off the heel of his glove. Most catchers will try to be as quiet and as soft as they can be with their glove, but that can happen.
Fifth wild pitch of the season for Pomeranz.
That's a big play right there with the Dodgers moving up two bases. We've seen the Colorado Rockies do that a lot in the first two games of this series. Now the Dodgers turn to move two guys into scoring position.
Only out of this inning, coming when Joe Blanton gave himself up, laid down a sacrifice. 1-2 to Gonzalez. After Adrian, Hanley Ramirez. And then Luis Cruz. First 6 batters of the game were retired by Pomeranz. But here in the third, singles by Rivera, Ellis, the bunt by Blanton. The error on a ball hit by Mark Ellis. And then the RBI single by Shane Victorino. The Dodgers up 2-0. On the ground. Will it get through? LeMahieu can't make that play. Here comes Victorino. He'll make it without a throw. A seeing eye single scores a pair, and the Dodgers lead 4-0.
And that's where that wild pitch comes into play. Instead of 1 run scoring, 2 runs score on that play, and Agon's got himself a couple more RBIs. The Dodgers are rolling now. Took that ball away from him. You'd normally see Agon go the other way, but he just hooks this over into the hole. LeMahieu, the guy that catches everything, couldn't get that one.
I'm not sure you could hit it a tick softer and still have it make it through the infield. Didn't have a whole bunch of steam on it, but it gets through and scores 2. RBIs number 5 and 6 in a Dodger uniform for Gonzalez. Steve, first time in the series the Dodgers have had a lead at any point.
That's good to see, too. A nice 4 on that scoreboard. Looks good in the top of this third. Still trying to get more.
And Ramirez struck out an inning ago. Third game in a Dodger uniform for Hanley Ramirez. Yesterday hitting that home run. His 7th with the Dodgers. 32 runs batted in with his new team. This one hit well to center field. Going back on it, Colvin still going back. It's gone to straightaway center field. A 2-run blast. And the Dodgers open up a 6-0 lead. Second homer in as many days for Hanley Ramirez, his 8th with the Dodgers.
And that ball was hit pretty hard, but I think Dodger fans that watch a lot of games know the difference between playing here and playing in Dodger Stadium. This is a hard line drive to center field. At Dodger Stadium, this doesn't come close to getting out of the ballpark. Pomeranz thinking, well, I gave up a hard line drive, but are you kidding me? That went out of the park. It's 415 feet away it went out of here. Dodgers finally taking advantage of the confines here.
Another broken bat, 3rd one of the inning. This one off of Luis Cruz's bat. And he is out number 2. Rutledge throws him out. So the Dodgers have had a nice little mix of dinks and doinks, and then the big blast by Hanley Ramirez. 6 runs on 5 hits. An error helping the cause as well here in this 3rd inning.
About to say how Hanley Ramirez throughout his career has been one of the best in baseball at making adjustments. He struck out badly on a breaking ball in the first at bat with his new hairdo. You see his new hairdo? He's got it all picked out there. He's got a little afro going. Looks good on him. He was laughing about it when he came into the clubhouse. Maybe after having his hat and his helmet on, it's kind of getting it smashed down just a little bit. New look Hanley. Pomeranz looked like to me like he tried to sneak a fastball by him after striking him out on a curveball. And Hanley said, I don't think that's going to happen.
Line drive right into the Dodger dugout.
Matt Kemp's sitting right down around where that ball went. He had to go sit in the clubhouse. It's just a magnet for odd things happening. Running into walls, baseballs hitting them. At least there's a screen there in front of him.
Ethier pops it up. It's going to be playable for someone. Shortstop Rutledge makes the one-handed grab, but major damage done. The Dodgers score 6 times on 5 hits, the biggest one. Home run off the bat of Hanley Ramirez. 6-0 Dodgers. 6-0 lead as we play the bottom of the third. A home run by Hanley Ramirez, capping off a 6-run third. Dodgers had 4 singles, an error by the first baseman George Pacheco helping out, and then the 2-run home run by Hanley Ramirez. Let's see if Joe Blanton can get a quick 1-2-3 and get the Dodgers back into the dugout.
Done a good job of mixing his pitches so far in this early going, and a good job of keeping the ball down. I think the type of Joe Blanton, the type of pitcher that Joe is, sometimes he lives a little bit higher in the zone, gives up a lot of fly balls, gives up a ton of home runs. Today he's got to keep that ball down in the strike zone, get some ground balls.
Big swing and a miss by Pomeranz. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is a battle between 2 guys who have been the SEC Pitcher of the Year during their college days. Drew Pomeranz at Ole Miss, Joe Blanton with the Kentucky Wildcats, and the Wildcats top the Rebels there. Out number 1 for Joe. That's his 2nd strikeout.
A lot of baseball players who have ever gone to a batting cage are familiar with the term Iron Mike, the old batting cage pitcher that just kind of grabbed the ball and threw it straight over the top, and you could hear it go after it would throw the ball at you. That's a little bit of the way Blanton throws. He's very short armed, but then he comes quickly right over the top and just kind of fires it at you. Very slow and quiet at first, and then right over the top. Right after he throws the ball, though, he doesn't go. Maybe he does.
Tyler Colvin, the batter. Breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. Colvin, the center fielder for the Rockies, flying out to the Dodgers center fielder. Shane Victorino back in the first. Blanton plays it off the chest, takes his time. Out number 2.
That's a good job by Joe. We saw a ball squirt right between his legs earlier in the ball game, up the middle for a base hit. This time he just kind of gets down in front of it. I'm not even sure if he's necessarily trying to catch it, just trying to make sure he keeps it right in front of him. Almost like a third baseman. Knock it down and throw him out.
Two down. Bases clear. Josh Rutledge, the batter. This is another SEC battle. Josh Rutledge, 3-year starting shortstop at Alabama, playing for the Crimson Tide. He's from Cullman, Alabama. And Rutledge continues to pound the baseball. His 2nd hit of the day. He's got 5 hits in the series, and he didn't even start Monday's game. So a 2-out single for Rutledge allows Carlos Gonzalez to bat. Gonzalez looking for his first hit of the series. Went 0 for 4 on Monday. Had kind of a mental health day yesterday. He's been in a funk big time. Jim Tracy's just deciding to leave him on the bench. Gonzalez wasn't with the team for a while, a couple of weeks ago. Was on bereavement leave. Grandfather passing away, and he wasn't with the team. He said that was a difficult time.
And it has shown in his numbers, too. He has struggled right around that period of time as well. Always on your mind.
One ball, 1 strike.
You've talked about the different splits with Gonzalez, how much better he hits at home than he does on the road. In his last couple road trips, he just was like 1 for 32.
He's a .229 batter on the road, .380 at home. That's a difference of over 150 percentage points. It's crazy.
Incredible difference. Since this ballpark opened, everyone talked about the huge offensive advantage you have to being a hitter here. He tried to counteract that with the humidor to try to keep some moisture in the baseball so they don't fly out of this place. A mile high in the air with the altitude and the dry air. They tried to make a very big ballpark. We talked about that already with 415 to dead center. Still didn't hold a nice hard line drive hit by Hanley Ramirez.
Another broken bat. Gonzalez fields the tough hop. Underhand toss to Blanton. Side is retired. No runs, a hit. 1 runner left on. Dodgers up by a half dozen. Joe Blanton looking for his first Dodger win, off to a good start. Dodgers leading the Rockies 6-0. Blanton has spaced out 3 singles so far through the first 3 innings. No damage done. Blanton will hit third here in this 4th inning against Drew Pomeranz. Rivera, A.J. Ellis, and Blanton. This is how the 3rd inning started. The Dodgers batted around in the 3rd, 6 runs on 5 hits. Rivera hits this one well to center field. Colvin gonna have to play it off the wall. Leadoff double for Rivera. He's 2 for 2.
Well, Rivera happy with the spacious outfield. Watched the side swing. Kind of reached for that ball, but got the barrel of it on the ball there. And if you can do that, you can get it to travel a pretty good distance. And we continue to talk about this huge outfield and how tough it is to cover everything.
A.J. Ellis, broken bat single, his first time up. Swings at the first pitch. I bet that's the 4th time he's done that this series.
Yeah, at least the 3rd. A.J. changing up his game plan. Oh, I think he's fouled off every time he's tried it.
Put it in play.
A.J. known for taking a ton of pitches, almost never swings at the first pitch.
0-2, A.J. in a hole early. The pitch count starting to get up there for Pomeranz. He has thrown 58 pitches, and because of that, activity in the bullpen. Adam Ottavino, haven't seen him so far in this series, but he's the right-hander getting loose. Three-pitch strikeout, out number 1 here in the 4th. Finish off your Labor Day weekend at Dodger Stadium on Monday, September 3rd. Dodgers taking on the Padres. It's a 5:10 start. Spend time with family and friends and enjoy $1 Dodger Dogs. Compliments of Farmer John. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Those games are going to be so important. Every game, the rest of the way. Just 32 games left on the schedule. Dodgers 3.5 out in the West. Obviously, the wild card is always an option. But this year, you really don't want to be that wild card. It's a one-game playoff to advance.
The whole season comes down to that ball game. The way it's shaping up right now, I believe that if the Dodgers don't play well enough to win the division, they probably will not have played well enough to become a wild card team either. So it's a kind of a double-edged sword, but a really good thing. You play well enough to win your division, you don't even worry about that other stuff. It'll be close. I can't wait for the in-game box score. We have not been able to talk about a lot of noise. I love noise on the box score. A lot of noise in that third inning from the Dodgers.
5 hits, including a 2-run home run by Hanley Ramirez. No balls, 2 strikes to Joe Blanton. Juan Rivera takes his lead off of second. Another strikeout. Here's a look at the standings right now. The Giants 3.5 on top of the Dodgers. Giants still in Houston taking on the Astros. They'll do so again tomorrow as well, and then head to Chicago to take on the woebegone Chicago Cubs.
The woebegone?
They got the smartest guys in the world running that organization, and got the second worst record in the big leagues. Here's Mark Ellis.
Interesting move by Don Mattingly there with Joe Blanton up. With the 1 out, decided not to bunt. Maybe give chance for Joe Blanton to move the runner over to third base anyway. Blanton struck out. Sometimes in that situation, you figure with a guy on second base, with Mark Ellis coming up in this ballpark, he's got almost as good a chance of driving him in from second base as he is from third.
Softly to short. Rutledge throws out Ellis. Side is retired. Pomeranz pitches around a leadoff double. Dodgers still on top, 6-0. American Jack combo at Jack in the Box for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. by San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. Play $250,000 sports watch football. It's free to play. And by 76 Gas. We're on the driver's side. Yeah, it's been a pleasant afternoon so far here in Denver, Colorado. Temperatures in the low 90s. But the Dodgers bats red hot. 6 runs, 6 hits, a 2-run home run already by Hanley Ramirez. And Joe Blanton's making it stand up. He's allowed just 3 singles.
I've had a lot of questions from fans lately about the necklaces and bracelets that a lot of the players are wearing, very brightly colored. I know Matt Kemp has been wearing them all season long. You just saw the one on Hanley there, bright yellow. It had to do with the same kind of power balance bracelets that a lot of the players have been wearing as well. Supposed to give you better balance, I guess. There's a bracelet. Luis Cruz sporting the bracelet.
Ball and 2 strikes to Jordan Pacheco. Called strike 3. Lance Barrett took his time, but he rings up Pacheco. That is the 3rd strikeout now for Blanton.
How do you like Joe Blanton today? Pounding the strike zone. Might have got a little bit of a break there, but why not? The Dodgers are due some breaks. Dodgers have seen their share of nasty pitches on the black right around the kneecaps as well. So if you're going to get them called your way, maybe you could get some too. Blanton will take it. If you're Pacheco, you don't like it that much.
Ramon Hernandez, veteran catcher, hits it to Hanley Ramirez, takes his time, does a pirouette, and throws out Hernandez. 2 outs here in the 4th. Hello Kitty Night at Dodger Stadium is back by popular demand. On Wednesday, September 5th, fans with the first 50,000 tickets at the game will receive their very own Hello Kitty tote bag. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Last year is the Hello Kitty plush. Chris Nelson swings at the first pitch and gets a single to right field. Blanton has now given up a single in each of the first 4 innings. But there's always been at least 1 out, sometimes 2, when he's given up that single.
Pitched around it very well, and plus he's done a very good job today of getting ahead in counts. He's thrown a first pitch strike to 13 of the 15 hitters that have walked up there. Now, any pitching coach, any pitcher usually will tell you, if I can get ahead in the count, get a count favorable to my pitches and what I throw, I can get you to start chasing some pitches that you don't want to hit.
DJ LeMahieu, a single back in the 2nd inning. Bats 2 outs and Nelson on at first. Blanton starts with a strike. What's new? LeMahieu now 4 for 9 in the series. Batting average of .299 on the year. Steven, the history of Major League Baseball, DJ LeMahieu, what he did last night has never been topped. 12 assists as a second baseman. No second baseman has ever had 13 assists in a game. A bunch of guys have had the 12 that he had, but no one's ever had more. 3-pitch strikeout. Blanton strikes out LeMahieu. Once again, Blanton keeps the Rockies down.
2004.
Adrian Beltre, it's a grand slam off the Rockies' Sean Estes in the second inning of an 8-7 win at Dodger Stadium.
Fastball whacked to left. Back goes Piedra. Grand slam home run for Adrian Beltre.
It was Beltre's 48th home run of the season, which led all major leaguers for the year.
Dodgers hoping to make some more Dodger Stadium memories. Final 5 weeks of the season. They'd love to go back to Dodger Stadium, feeling good about themselves with a win this afternoon. Dodgers losing the first 2 games of the series against the Rockies, but off to a nice start, up 6-0 on Colorado. Here's our in and out. Who's in, who's out? Adam Ottavino replacing Drew Pomeranz to pitch this 5th inning.
Once again, that system that you've talked about a lot, where they pretty much assign a reliever to a starter, understanding that after 75 pitches, that reliever will be in the game following that same starter. Ottavino's got some good numbers coming out of the pen. As you said before, a lot of these relievers are the guys that end up with the wins. You see, he has 5 wins on the year. 5-1, the ERA in check. Boy, I liked his hits to innings pitched ratio here, giving up just 48 hits in over 60 innings. Opponent's batting average against Ottavino just .216.
Shane Victorino leads things off. He batted right-handed his first 2 times to the plate against left-handed throwing Pomeranz. Now hits from the left-handed side. Ottavino, like Pomeranz before him, a first-round draft choice. He was taken at the tail end of the first round back in 2006 by the Cardinals. Made it up to the Cardinals big league team briefly in 2010. Didn't pitch at all at the big leagues last year. And then coming over to the Rockies for the first time this year in spring training. 3-1 to Victorino. Second hit of the day for Shane. Line drive single to center field. And now the Dodgers have just as many hits so far through the first 4+ innings as they had all of yesterday.
Boy, it's good to see that change. Victorino down there at first base with a 6-0 lead here. It's not too late to stop running. Dodgers have watched how numbers can get thrown on the board here in Colorado quickly. If Victorino wants to steal a base, it should not be a problem for anyone in the ballpark. It's not like it's the 7th inning and it's a 6-run lead.
Adrian Gonzalez, 2-run single his last time up. Steve, you and I saw last night, game in Pittsburgh. Play at the plate, Josh Harrison for the Pirates ran into Yadier Molina. Later on in the game, it appeared as if the Cardinals pitching staff went after Harrison and drilled him. Line drive into center field. Back-to-back singles for the Dodgers. Victorino will stop at second. 2-hit day for Adrian Gonzalez, and still a whole bunch of baseball left to be played. So 2 on, nobody out, and Hanley Ramirez will bat. His last time up hit a wicked line drive that made it over the center field fence.
Yeah, you were talking about that Harrison play there in Pittsburgh, which I thought, you know, if they were going after him, if they hit him on purpose because he ran over Molina, it's a bad play. It's part of the game. You know, Molina was standing right in the baseline. Harrison was coming around third. There was a play at the plate. Completely legal to run the catcher over. It's basically what you're supposed to do. It's what you're taught to do. One of the perils of playing that position. Kind of a funny little play at second base when Victorino came into second. Here comes the throw. Watch it skip up. Who catches it? Shane. Here you go. I'll give it back to you.
Pop up, first base side. It's going to be pushed into the stands.
Right. When Ramirez is right, he has a max effort, wicked swing. Watch him wind up and then unload. When he was younger, they used to call him Mini Manny. And he had that high leg kick, very much the same as Manny Ramirez. A timing mechanism for him to get things started. Occasionally, you'll get fooled and get out in front of a pitch. But when he's timed everything right, I mean, you're talking about a very powerful swing through the hitting zone.
Broken bat, another one. Nelson gloves to second for one, on to first, and the throw takes Pacheco off the bag. That's the first out here in the 5th inning. Dodgers have runners on at the corners.
Just gets in on him a little bit there, shatters the bat. See, Nelson plays some pretty good third base.
We're going to be able to build a bonfire here at Coors Field with all the broken bats.
Someone asked me what they do with all the broken bats. Bats generally that don't get shattered or are still technically in one piece after they break. A lot of those are given away to charity. The player will sign it, give it to someone in the stands. The bats that get broken in half or into multiple pieces end up in the garbage.
Luis Cruz pops it up, and the Dodgers aren't going to be able to run. Victorino from third on that weakly hit pop up. There are now 2 outs, and the Dodgers now going to have to try and manufacture something. Runners on at first and at third.
Luis Cruz has been one of those guys in the Dodger lineup since he's gotten here that's been kind of a spark plug. He had yesterday off, and today he's just had some kind of overly aggressive first pitch at bats. 0 for 3 now with 3 kind of, players will talk about giving away their at bats. I think Luis Cruz feels like he's given away his first 3 at bats. He's a little, we usually see that big smile out of him. He's a little upset with himself right now. I think he understands. He's like, what am I doing here? This is not my game.
Victorino on at third. Hanley Ramirez on at first. Andre Ethier 0 for 2 against the left-hander Pomeranz. Now facing the righty Ottavino.
Ethier's had back-to-back sluggish at bats, but hitting well over 500 in his last 6 games, so he's starting to pick it up a notch again.
Hanley better be careful down there at first. Ramon Hernandez has got a nice arm, and he keeps peeking just to see if he can throw behind him.
He loves to throw behind the runners.
Two and one. Maybe the Rockies would have had a defensive play put on with Todd Helton, multiple-time Gold Glover at first base. But trust level probably isn't there with Jordan Pacheco down at first.
Ethier 336 with runners in scoring position.
Did you have a different mentality when you were hitting with runners in scoring position, or was it always the same strategy when you went to the batter's box?
Yeah, I got nervous and scared and hit weak ground balls to the second baseman. That's the point, is that I think most players should not take a different mentality. They should go up there pretty much the same. I think the good hitters do that. They're up there trying to get a hit or do some damage at the plate every at bat, but not panic or get a little bit overamped when you have a chance to drive in a guy, because that usually doesn't help you.
That's the first walk of the game for either side. Ottavino walks Ethier to load the bases.
Juan Rivera's had a good day so far.
Steve, this has been an issue for the Dodgers all season long. The batting average with the bases loaded just have not been as productive as you need to be when you have opportunities like this. Rivera 2 for 2 against the left-hander Pomeranz. in his career. 3 grand slams, 286 batting average this year. Batting with the bases loaded.
What Ottavino's going to try to do is go hard in or hard away. There's the away. I don't think they're going to give him anything soft inside. Juan Rivera can handle a breaking ball on the inner half. Sometimes with right-handed pitchers can get tied up if you come in hard on his hands. And then away from him, he generally tries to pull that pitch. Ooh, that's the one. I think that fooled Rivera a little bit, but that's the pitch that he can generally handle very well. Kind of a hang and breaking ball. This is like a cement mixer breaking ball in the inner half of the plate. That's the one that Juan Rivera really wants to hammer. Didn't get it. Ottavino doesn't want to throw that pitch again.
First time today that Rivera is retired. Dodgers leave him loaded. 6-0. Dodgers on top. Home half of the 5th when we return. Dodger win. He's given up 4 hits, all of them singles, and he's working on a shutout. Dodgers on top of the Rockies 6-0 with Steve Lyons. I'm Eric Collins. 8-9-1 in the Rockies lineup to bat here in the 5th. Charlie Blackmon in the pitcher spot and Tyler Colvin. Dodgers have lost 3 in a row. The Rockies, they have won 8 of their last 10. Steve, how concerned are you, or should Dodger fans be, about the fact that the Dodgers just have not really consistently played good baseball against their closest rivals, the NL West?
Well, it definitely is a concern. Usually towards the end of the season, you get a lot more games against teams in the West. The Dodgers have to travel out east still to Cincinnati and Washington. We talked about it so far that the Giants are the team that are really staying in the West. I think 29 out of the last 32 games, all against teams in the West. Hopefully it's just a coincidence up to this point.
Dodgers 23-27 in 50 games against the West.
You know, the Diamondbacks are a team that haven't played as well as they had hoped, but they can always jump up and bite you. The Padres are not a very good team. Going to see both of those clubs coming into Dodger Stadium here as soon as we leave Colorado.
Hanley, nice play behind the bag at second. That is out number 1. College football comes to Fox. Each week, Aaron Andrews, Eddie George, and Joey Harrington will get you ready for kickoff. Then Heisman Trophy candidate Matt Barkley, the #1 ranked USC Trojans, taking their first step on the road to a national championship as they take on Hawaii. the premiere of college football Saturday. It's this Saturday, 4 p.m. only on Fox. How are your Beavers going to do this year?
Probably not so good.
Come on.
You know, in Oregon, the program is the Ducks. Pains me to say it, but the Ducks are a national power. The Beavers, not so much.
And that wasn't always the case. We can get back to those glory days.
It's cyclical.
Here's Adam Ottavino. What Adam Ottavino's doing right now, some old school baseball people frown on. He's a right-handed pitcher, but he bats from the left-handed side, exposing his right arm.
Yeah, but look at the big old protection he has on that elbow.
I remember back in early 80s, when Dwight Gooden was doing wonderful things. He was a great athlete, could hit, but he wanted to switch hit one year, and he wasn't allowed because Mets management said, you know what, we're not going to expose that golden right arm of yours to the oncoming pitch.
Well, I think that's tough sometimes if you're a kid that grows up as a right-handed thrower and a left-handed hitter. You can't just jump over to the right-hand side and hit just because you don't want your arm exposed. If you're a left-handed hitter, you're a left-handed hitter.
Two outs, bases clear. Here's Tyler Colvin. Blanton looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. Steve, in the Hall of Fame, there's only one position player who batted right-handed and threw left-handed. It's very unique kind of bio. You played against him. Former Dodger, recent Hall of Famer, Ricky Henderson. But that profile is very unique.
He was former everybody.
Yeah. But the right-handed batter, left-handed thrower, there's really no advantage defensively or offensively in the game of baseball. Fifth straight inning that Joe Blanton has given up a single to a Rocky batter. Still hasn't gone 1-2-3, still hasn't given up a run.
About to tell the story about Tyler Colvin when he was originally called to the big leagues. When he was with the Chicago Cubs, he had finished his Double-A season, was hanging out at a Cracker Barrel with his grandparents, and was on his way home, and he got a call from the Cubs saying they needed an outfielder. It was an unusual reason why they needed that outfielder. It was because they had put Milton Bradley on the suspended list because he was being Milton Bradley, I guess. And he got called to the big leagues a little quicker than he thought he would.
Josh Rutledge retired for the first time. Another scoreless inning for Joe Blanton. Dodgers on top 6-0. Score of 6-0 as we take a look at our Nissan game reset. Hanley Ramirez, second consecutive game with a home run. He went to right center yesterday, straightaway center this afternoon. And Joe Blanton looking for his first Dodger win It's been the exact same scenario each of his first 5 innings. Doesn't go 1, 2, 3, gives up a single, but doesn't allow a run. He's got a shutout going, and he is going to bat second here in this 6th inning.
Easily the best start that Blanton has had in a Dodger uniform, and the Dodgers kind of remember him throwing that way against them. Oh, it's been easy for him too. He's just hitting his spots, using all his different pitches, keeping everybody off balance.
A.J. Ellis takes a pitch inside from Ottavino, 2-0. And this start's so important, Steve, for Joe Blanton and the Dodgers with Chad Billingsley dealing with that elbow issue. Dodgers desperately need the starting pitching to perform better than it's been for the last week.
Let's face it, coming into this series, when you're talking about, hey, let's go play the Rockies, come in there and beat up on that team. When you looked at the rotation coming in here, you figured you'd have better chances. When you lose the first 2 games and you see the way Blanton has pitched in the past here with the Dodgers, you can understand a little bit of apprehension on Dodger fans' part, saying, wow, how is today going to work out given the past performance of what we've seen out of Blanton? Today, brilliant so far.
Ellis hits it to right field. Blackman, nice running catch. Long-legged Blackman got a good jump and makes a leaping grab in front of the track.
A lot of opportunities for good catches in this outfield because you got to run a long way. The ball carries well. Better have some people out there that can run some stuff down.
Little number off the bat of Blanton. He wants an infield single. Look at him get down that line. Out by a whisker.
He's hoping that ball would get up over the pitcher's head and up the middle, but no. Well, you hate that as a player, too, because you're running. After a certain point, you're looking at first base. Maybe you take a peek. Where did the ball go? Who's going to field it? But maybe your last 10 steps, you're zeroing in on first base. And you keep getting closer and closer and closer. You keep thinking, I might beat, boom, and then you're out. Might beat this out, but no. Your last half step, they nail you. That's why this game is so beautiful. The way they figured it out, 90 feet away, that you can just get guys just by that much.
Great line by John Lowenstein, outfielder back in the 70s with the Indians and the Orioles. He said, if you want to get rid of close plays, I don't know why they just don't make first base 91 feet away from home plate.
Now the players would adjust to that, too, and there'd still be just as many close plays.
Ellis pops this one up behind home plate. Hernandez off with the mask. Third time today that the Dodgers have gone 1-2-3. They lead the Rockies 6-0. afternoon. They lead the Rockies 6-0. Here's our AT&T U-verse replay, and it involves good number 13 back in the third inning.
Oh, this ball's hammered on a line to dead center. I could see a whole lot more of that out of Hanley Ramirez, wouldn't you?
22 home runs now on the year for Hanley, 8 of them coming in a Dodger uniform.
Now the rock pile is way out there. He hit that into the Colorado forest.
Here's Carlos Gonzalez, 0 for 2 on the day. He's just 1 for his last 21.
They call the stands in dead center field, way in the upper deck here, the rock pile. There's the people in the rock pile out there. This part here is just such a pretty area that you can hit a home run ball into. Oh.
This will be the first base hit of the day for Carlos Gonzalez, his first base hit of the series, and the first time this afternoon that the leadoff man has reached for the Rockies. Now, if you keep an extensive scorecard, Joe Blanton's got something kind of unique going on through the first 5 innings. Each frame has been a carbon copy of itself. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. It's been that exact same formula each of the first 5 innings. He's got a shutout going, but he has given up 6 hits now. Jordan Pacheco swings at the first pitch and pops it foul.
Carlos Gonzalez might be a little bit unhappy with the Dodgers trip in this time because he patterned his swing as a kid after Bobby Abreu. A big Abreu fan, watched him, wanted to swing the bat like him. I think he's got a pretty good swing. Abreu not with the club this time in.
Steve, we talked about the severe home and road splits for Carlos Gonzalez earlier today. The Coors Field effect leads me to a really difficult question. Todd Helton is obviously having his career come to a close. He's still active. He still has time on his contract, but he's no longer probably going to be the perennial all-star here in Denver. What do you think about his Hall of Fame chances? Just to give you a little bit of background, 5-time All-Star, multiple Gold Gloves for Todd Helton, 354 lifetime home runs, but an entire career played at altitude.
I don't think you can penalize a guy for where he plays. It wasn't his fault he was drafted by the Colorado Rockies and played his entire career here.
Well, should his numbers be exponentially better than other Hall of Fame candidates because he played so many games here? Pop-up. Hanley Ramirez, shallow left center. There's the first out.
Should they be or are they be? Are they? Is that what you're asking? I think you're saying that. I think you're saying that his numbers are better because he played here, and they wouldn't have been as good had he played somewhere else. I think that's a definite possibility, but I think there's a lot of things that factor in. You look at other teams. Look at the Philadelphia Phillies where they play now. That's a bandbox. That's a hitter's haven. Arizona, it's a great place to hit. Maybe even more so than Colorado now. I think it's hard to penalize a guy for something that he had no control over.
Hernandez swings at the first pitch. And inside outs it into right field. Ethier makes the catch. The thing that Helton has going for him is the batting average. Came into this year with a .326 lifetime batting average. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He was a wonderful player, as a force. But he hasn't hit over 20 home runs in a season since 2004. Chris Nelson, the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe Blanton has struck out 5 so far in the game. He has not walked anyone.
Thrown 72 pitches now in this one.
Saw that shot of Chad Billingsley in the dugout with Clayton Kershaw and Chris Capuano. I talked to Chad a little bit today, and I said, how you feeling? What's going on? He said, just ice. Been all about ice for days and days and days, trying to get the swelling out of his right elbow.
That's so they can take another picture of it, get another MRI without the swelling in there and see how serious the injury is.
Adrian Gonzalez down to one knee, steps on the backside to retire. The formula holds once again for Blanton. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 runner left on. Tilting in favor of the Dodgers this afternoon.
Wow, that's just an outstanding performance so far by Joe Blanton. Pomeranz kind of still trying to figure things out, but well, you got to really be happy for Joe and the way he's pitched today and keeping things going for the Dodgers here in a 6-0 lead in a game that they really needed to win, heading home, and trying to hang on here through the next 3 innings.
Shane Victorino leads things off. It'll be Victorino, Gonzalez, and Ramirez against Adam Ottavino. Shane 2 for 3, drove in a run with a single in the 6th run 3rd inning. All of the runs today scored in the top of the 3rd. And in that inning, the Dodgers broke a bunch of bats. There was a couple bleeders and seeing eye hits. But then there was that one well-hit ball. Hanley Ramirez, a home run to center field. Foul ball. All right, Steve, we've seen it for a game and a half now. Don Mattingly trying to change up the Dodgers' fortunes offensively, flip-flopping Victorino and Mark Ellis, top of the lineup. Was it just to change things up, or was there an actual reason behind it?
I think a lot of times with the lineup, Don does it just to shake things up. I don't know that it'll stay this way. It may, if Donnie likes it. And if they go ahead and win today, he might just stick with it because of that.
Out number 1, second strikeout for Ottavino.
You see Mark Ellis. I like Victorino hitting leadoff just a little bit more because of the speed factor. When he gets on, more apt to try to steal a base. A couple of hitters in front of the big bangers. Mark Ellis is not going to do that.
Adrian Gonzalez, couple of hits. He's now 5 for 18 with the Dodgers. with that home run, his very first at bat in Dodger blue.
I think he's pretty locked in today. Might see a big, powerful swing out of him in this at bat if they come anywhere near the inner half of the plate. Looks like they're trying to go in. Oh.
Left center field. Who wants it? Tyler Colvin makes the play.
So far, what we've seen out of Gonzalez is a lot of opposite field swings. We saw that very first swing. He hit the ball into the right field seats at Dodger Stadium. But watch here. He's even going to try to go inside out on a ball that's in on him. You see him pull his hands in, trying to force the ball the other way, and got jammed on it just a little bit.
Steve, is my memory okay? He reminds me a little bit of Rafael Palmeiro with his stance, his swing, and his approach.
Yeah, Palmeiro had one of the prettier left-handed swings you're ever going to see, and he seemed so effortless, almost like he'd get things started a little bit early, but then almost not even care about his swing. Just kind of like, just let me just drop the bat head through the zone and we'll go. And the ball just jumped off his bat. 3,000 hits, 500 homers.
Gonzalez, just 30 years of age. He's already got over 200 homers in his big league career. Someone who's going to get to 200 home runs fairly quickly. He's in the batter's box right now for the Dodgers. Anthony Ramirez now got 22 home runs on the season. In his big league career, he has 156. Still a relatively young guy, 28 years of age. Ottavino strikes him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Ottavino. He has now retired 7 in a row. Bottom of the 7th inning, Dodgers leading the Rockies 6-0. Joe Blanton has been terrific. 74 pitches, 54 strikes. He struck out 5. He hasn't gone to a 3-ball count on anyone. DJ LeMahieu leads things off against Blanton. What have you noticed out of Joe this afternoon?
Well, first pitch strikes right off the get-go, and being able to get guys to either take that first pitch or foul it off, and then being able to get them to put the ball in play. Getting early outs, quick outs. Been a night and day pitcher.
Take a look at our AT&T trivia question. Who holds the Dodger rookie record for most home runs in a single season?
I got that one.
Seems easy to me, but maybe the easy ones are the hard ones.
Really?
Should I overthink it?
Don't overthink it.
Okay.
What was that one really hard one we had on that last road trip? first 3 draft choices after Chipper Jones or something like that 4,000 years ago.
Here's Charlie Blackmon batting with 1 out. All right, since we're in the topic of trivia, might as well pass this one along. I like this one. Adrian Gonzalez, now that he's a full-fledged member of the Dodgers, he becomes just the 4th. There's a line drive base hit in the right field. 7th single allowed by Blackmon. Adrian Gonzalez was taken 1st overall in the 2000 draft by the Marlins. Now that he's joined the Dodgers, he is one of just 4 players who were taken number 1 overall in the Major League Draft to play for the Dodgers.
Well, Darryl Strawberry. Hanley Ramirez?
He was undrafted out of the Dominican.
Okay.
And Strawberry was the number 1 pick in 1980 by the Mets.
Rick Monday.
Rick Monday, the first selection ever in the draft. That was in the draft's first year, 1965.
Tim Belcher.
Oh, that's incredible. Tim Belcher taken number 1 overall in 1983 by the Twins. Didn't even sign. Ended up playing for the Dodgers. Those are your 4. Belcher, Strawberry, Monday, and Adrian Gonzalez. All right, here's our first look in a couple of days at Dexter Fowler.
I was also thinking about Darren Dreifert, but
He was second
Yeah.
after Alex Rodriguez.
To me, it's an amazing now how much better the science of drafting players has become. If you look up and down rosters now, as you look at these players, even in today's ball games, the number of number 1 picks that are actually in the big leagues playing on a daily basis has risen dramatically.
A 4-pitch walk to Dexter Fowler. Tuesday, September 4th, fans of the first 30,000 tickets will receive an adult Matt Kemp replica jersey. Compliments of State Farm. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Steve, more to your point, all 3 pitchers in today's game. First-round picks. Blanton for the Dodgers, Pomerantz and Ottavino for the Rockies.
Tyler Colvin, number 1 pick.
Clayton Kershaw, Josh Beckett. Chad Billingsley was a first-rounder back in 2003.
Adam Kennedy on the bench, number 1 pick.
Chris Nelson. First meeting on the mound for Rick Honeycutt, Dodger pitching coach, and Joe Blanton.
I think they've gotten so much better at it. The scouting systems throughout major league organizations put a lot more time and effort into figuring out who they're drafting, who they think are going to project out as a better player, and because of how much money they have to drop on these 17, 18, 19-year-old kids when they draft them in that first round, they better be right. Instant millionaires.
Some skeptics say the first-round picks get every benefit of the doubt along the way, and sometimes they make it to the big leagues on where they were drafted, not what they have done so far.
Yeah, that may be true, but they don't stay here long if they can't cut it.
Tyler Colvin, left-handed swinger, 1 for 3 so far today. He was taken in the first round by the Cubs in 2006. 6 picks after Clayton Kershaw.
Blanton looking for that friendly ground ball right here to turn a double play and get out of the inning.
One and 2. It's the best chance in a long time for the Rockies to score some runs off of Joe Blanton. Blackmon on at second, Fowler on at first. They're going to wave Blackmon around. He'll score without a throw. Shutup's gone. First run of the day for the Rockies. It's a 6-1 ball game.
And more importantly, Blanton stays in just a little bit of trouble here now. Still at first and second and 1 out. Double play is still in order.
Rockies have now tied the Dodgers in hits. Both sides with 8. Josh Rutledge takes a breaking ball for a strike. Rutledge in the series is 5 for 8. Couple of singles today.
This guy's been everywhere. He can't remember the 3 times he got him out. Talked about it right before he drilled that ball off the center field wall. About he has saying that same kind of Chipper Jones squint as he's staring out at the pitcher, trying to figure out what kind of pitch he's going to hit.
On the ground, could be 2. Cruz steps on the bag. Double play. 5-3, inning over. Blanton keeps the run scoring to a minimum. Dodgers up 6-1. The 8th is next.
Game box score where we start to talk about some noise. Lots of noise over here. Now, granted, a lot of it came in that 1 inning, but who cares? Bottom line, you're talking about Gonzalez with the base hit scoring 2 runs. And then the big home run by Ramirez, the 2-run shot. Lots of stuff going on over there. I love that. I don't even care if no one can see it anymore. I just have fun drawing on it.
Dodgers scoring all 6 of their runs in the 3rd inning. Rockies getting 1 back in the 7th, but that's been it. Joe Blanton looks like he's got a good chance to pick up his first Dodger victory. New pitcher coming on for the Rockies. It's Will Harris. First time we have seen the right-hander here in this series. Harris will face Luis Cruz leading things off, followed by Andre Ethier and Juan Rivera.
I might have bet the house that Luis Cruz wouldn't swing at that first pitch. We talked about how upset he was with himself about his first few at-bats. I think he felt like he's given those at-bats away. You might see a higher level of concentration right here.
Good hitters count, 2-0. Batting average down to .293 for Luis Cruz, who has the highest Dodger batting average in the month of August.
I'll tell you how mental this game can get for players, especially if you start to go bad. I mean, I know that other players have been in the same situation. I've gone to the plate sometimes saying, you know what, just not seeing the ball very well. I'm not swinging at good pitches. I'm going to go up there and take a pitch. I want to see what this guy's got. And the guy will throw the first pitch and it'll look good to me and I'll swing at it. After completely telling myself I wasn't going to do it. And that happens to everybody. You run down the first base line swearing at yourself, saying, what am I thinking?
3-2. Will Harris, college player, played at LSU, finishing up in 2006. Was drafted by the Rockies in the 9th round back in 06. Leadoff walk. Let's answer our AT&T trivia question. We thought it possibly was easy. Was it? Who holds the Dodger rookie record for most home runs in a single season?
Mike Piazza.
Yep. Was it really 19 years ago?
Wow.
Leadoff man aboard. Third time today the Dodgers have had the leadoff man on. Andre Ethier 0 for 2 with a walk. Snap throw to first.
There's that snap throw that you were talking about from Hernandez down to first. Making sure that Cruz isn't drifting too far out there.
'36-year-old Ramon Hernandez. One and two to Ethier.
Look out.
2-2.
I think it's funny when guys try to intimidate players like Ethier or Kemp, Ramirez, guys like that by throwing one in on their hands, maybe up around the letters. You're just making Andre lock in deeper. There you go.
Line drive single. First hit of the day for Andre. First 2 men aboard here in the 8th inning. And the ball gets away from everyone. Cruz takes an extra 90 feet, and so does Ethier.
Well, Dexter Fowler just into the ball game, and kind of looked like he just hooked that ball. Sometimes you'll throw a ball and it kind of get hooked on the end of your fingers. You'll hang on to it a little bit longer. See what he does here. Whoop. Nobody can get their glove on it, and there's no one around in that area to back you up.
Fowler replacing Tyler Colvin in center field. Colvin moving over to right. Harris coming in, part of a double switch, so Blackman out of the game. And Fowler, who hasn't played the outfield in a while because he's got a bad ankle, can't run particularly well. And the rust shows in his first throw.
Rockies starting to play defense in this game the way the Rockies have played defense for the rest of the season. The worst statistical defensive team in the National League.
Yeah, they won the race. They're the first team to 100 errors on the year. Got 101 now.
Is that winning the race?
Well, the problem for the Rockies is the Dodgers just aren't hitting the ball to DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah.
LeMahieu yesterday tying a big league record for most assists in a game by a second baseman, 12 times. Successfully fielding ground balls. Doesn't have one assist today.
One was unable to make that play on the errant throw by Fowler.
Observant Dodger fans noticing that we just took a picture of Juan Uribe in the dugout. Juan Uribe once had 12 assists for the Rockies, but that was as a shortstop. So Uribe and LeMahieu forever linked. Most assists Dodger in Rockies history. 3-0 now to Juan Rivera. Let's see if he lets it rip. 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the inning for Will Harris. Kind of makes you wonder what he was doing last night. It was his birthday, we should point out. Turned 28 yesterday. And off to a rocky start as a 28-year-old. Hasn't retired a soul. Couple of walks sandwiched around an Andre Ethier single.
Well, now A.J. Ellis is going to get a chance with the bases loaded. And mentioned a couple times that the Dodgers over the course of the season have not been good with the bases loaded. We'll see if it changes right here for A.J. with nobody out. Infield way in. A.J. will be trying to lift this ball, get it out of the infield. Once again, if the ball just gets to the outfield, you see Andre Ethier at second base. With the way that the rest of the infield is positioned there, he can get a huge lead.
One ball, one strike. Steve, I've heard you talk about how big league hitters can't intentionally foul pitches away. How difficult is it to intentionally lift the ball in the air?
Well, I think you just try to uppercut your swing just a little bit more. Try to stay behind it. Try to uppercut a little bit. Try to get a ball up in the zone where it's naturally going to be elevated if you hit the bottom half of the ball. Kind of change your way of thinking. Now change your swing a little bit if you want to, but change your approach. Look for a ball up in the zone. A lot of lefties, like I was, a low ball hitter. In this situation, maybe I'd want the ball up in the zone to see if I could hit it over the infield's head and at least drive in a run with a sacrifice fly, if not hit a gap and let guys run for days out there.
It's another kind of weird time for a pitching coach to come out and talk to this pitcher. Bo McLaughlin having a conversation. Count is 2-1. He went out to the mound on a 3-2 pitch yesterday.
He gets to the point where he doesn't like what he sees, and he's going to come out and yak at you about it.
I guess Bo knows. Did you really play with Bo McLaughlin?
Against him.
Against him, okay. Runners on at every base. Cruz on at third. Ethier at second. Rivera on at first. Back to the screen, 2-2.
There's a healthy cut right there by A.J.
Oh. Deep drive to right center. This has got a chance. It is gone! A.J.'s done it. A grand slam home run. It's become a laugher. 10-1, Dodgers on top of the Rockies.
We've talked about it a lot in this ballpark. You cannot hit it in a better spot than that right center field gap. The ball just gets in sort of a natural jet stream over there and just goes and goes and goes and really makes a right-handed hitter a better hitter in this ballpark because they stay down and out over pitches longer. They try to drive the ball to right center field instead of pulling everything. Boy, you can make some hay over there. A.J. took advantage.
First career grand slam for A.J. Ellis, just the Dodgers' second Granny of the Year. He joins Andre Ethier.
Ethier hit his on getaway day in Seattle.
Joe Blanton going to stay in the game, hit for himself. Softly to LeMahieu, his first assist of the day. There are now one out in the eighth inning.
A.J. had a great cut at the pitch before that, and he comes right back and gets another one he can handle. See you later. Look at the guys in the bullpen. A couple of them had to run for cover, maybe. That's nice to see A.J. get a big fly with 3 guys on. 4 big RBIs for him, a career high in homers at any level he's ever played in now. 11 home runs for him. Never hit 11 home runs anywhere.
off the end of the bat. That'll drop. Mark Ellis, his first hit of the day. Dodgers now with 11 hits.
Well, it's nice to see the 11 hits, and even nicer for me to see more runs scored in a different inning. They had that 6-run explosion in the third, then kind of went silent again for a while. Come back out here and get 4 more.
And this is an unwanted birthday present for Will Harris. He's going to have to stick around this game. Rockies don't want to burn up any more of their pitching staff.
Yeah, nobody down there throwing.
Nobody at all. Softly, Rutledge makes the running catch. 2 down.
I know there's a lot of Dodger fans that keep score at home. I do a lousy job of keeping score. There's no question about that. But is there anything prettier than marking down a home run and a grand slam with all the extra RBIs, the 4 RBIs next to your name, in anybody's scorebook? You have all 3 runs before your name, your run, the home run next to your name. I signify an RBI with a red dot, which is different than anything else I write in my book. So there's 4 of them next to AJ's name, next to the home run. I don't think you can write down anything prettier than that, can you?
Gonzalez turns on this one. Will it stay fair? No.
The guy in the stands tried to make a catch up against the wall, and he gets the ball back anyway. Is that Colvin out there? That guy tried to make the catch down the line, just couldn't quite reach it. The ball rattled around down in the corner. Tyler Colvin flipped it back up to him anyway for making the nice effort.
Mark Ellis not being held on at first. Gonzalez takes a strike. 92 miles per hour. 1-2. Dodgers 10 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Rockies just 1 run, 8 hits. They've committed 2 errors. Dodgers trying to end a 3-game losing streak. Two for 4 afternoon for A.J. Ellis with his first career grand slam. He's also coaxed a really nice performance out of Joe Blanton. 2 guys that go back to their high school days in Kentucky.
Well, you know, it's a tough decision for Don Mattingly on day games, who he's going to play, who's going to catch. You know, you like to see Matt Traynor get in there and get some at-bats and keep some consistent playing time. He did not catch Capuano this last time. So maybe with the day game, I bet Donnie kind of struggled with who to put behind the plate today, Matt Traynor or A.J. Ellis. Made the right choice, I guess, with A.J. back there today and getting the big granny. Don Mattingly has done an unbelievable job this year with the amount of players that he's had to work with. I mean, his lineup's going to get pretty set now with the guys that he's got in it. You can remember the time when the Dodgers were throwing a double-A team out onto the field. Who was going to play? Where were they going to play? How could he keep everybody happy?
Harris strikes out Gonzalez, but the Dodgers put 4 more on the board. One swing of the bat by A.J. Ellis, his first big league grand slam. had two nice innings, a 6-run third and a 4-run 8th inning. A.J. Ellis, a grand slam in the top of the 8th inning. And, oh, by the way, Joe Blanton, 7 innings, 1 earned run.
And he's still in there.
Blanton has thrown 90 pitches in his 7 innings. Carlos Gonzalez, the batter, 1 for 3. Looking ahead, Dodgers going to start a 4-game series against the Diamondbacks tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. Ian Kennedy, 11-11 on the year for the D-backs. Clayton Kershaw looking for his 13th win for the Dodgers. Gonzalez is retired. Follow the Dodgers at MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, BlackBerry, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com for details. There's Clayton. It is amazing. I was here a number of hours before the game just watching him by himself and the things that he puts his body through. Jordan Pacheco, a 1-out single. A couple of days ago, he was doing a lot of things with elastic bands for his upper body and his right and left arm. Today, doing a lot of stuff for his core down the left field line.
Consistently works on his delivery even if he doesn't have a baseball. Stand out there, go through his windup, go through his stretch, throw an imaginary ball just to stay consistent. Pitchers will always talk about repeating their delivery. You can't stay consistent. You can't hit the outside corner if you don't do the same thing every time in order to hit that outside corner.
Pacheco not being held on is going to take an extra base. What do you think about that?
That's fine. I think once the other team decides they don't care if you run, then you can run. Pacheco is playing for the Dodgers right now. Someone would be wearing one.
.36-year-old Ramon Hernandez, 0 for 3. Had a nice career. Been around 165 lifetime homers and a bloop base hit. They'll stop Pacheco at third. Joe Blanton has given up at least 1 hit in every inning. Now given up 10 hits. They all have been singles, and that's been a big difference from what we've seen earlier in this series by the Rockies. They had 13 extra base hits in the first 2 games.
I think just as we talked about in the open of the show and with Joe Blanton when he got on the mound, one of the important things for him was to make sure that he kept the ball in the ballpark. Don't give up home runs. And so far in this one, he has not.
Here comes Don Mattingly. He wants the ball. Joe Blanton goes 7 1/3. So far, he has given up just 1 run. Joe Blanton, 7 1/3 good innings for the Dodgers, looking to pick up his first Dodger win. 96 pitches, 67 strikes. He induced 12 ground ball outs. He's responsible for runners on at the corners. New pitcher for the Dodgers, Sean Tollison. He was just sent out Monday morning, just recalled today. The roster move for the Dodgers, Scott Elbert going to the disabled list, and Tollison back up from Single A.
Well, they had him in Single A because that season would end a little bit quicker. They could get him back here if they wanted him. Obviously, they can recall a guy who's been sent out if it's due to an injury, and that's the situation with Elbert.
Chris Nelson, RBI single to right field. Dodger lead is now 10-2.
Nelson not wasting any time.
Three consecutive singles for the Rockies. DJ LeMahieu takes a strike. Giants playing later on today down in Houston. Barry Zito, the starter for the Giants. Giants coming from behind in the ninth inning to beat the Astros yesterday. Steve, how much scoreboard watching do you think these Dodgers, obviously they can't do it right now, the Giants aren't playing currently, but how much scoreboard watching the players and managers actually do during a game?
Every night. Don Mattingly's already admitted as much, that he pays attention and watches. I think that every manager implores their team to really just go out and play baseball and win games. They know if they win enough games, they'll pass the team in front of them, whether you're watching them or not. But it's human nature to try to figure out what the teams in front of you are doing, or maybe if there's a team that's playing really well and sneaking up behind you, you're going to pay attention to what they're doing. Best way to not have to worry about it is win all of your games. And I think at this point in time is where you really start doing it. 30 games left. I like to think it's the last 20 or so games where people start to tighten up. You know, the pretenders go home, and we saw a lot of that last year.
One hopper past Hanley Ramirez. Another run's going to score. That closes the books on Joe Blanton. He officially gives up 3 earned runs. There's still just one out here in this 8th inning.
Well, that's too bad for Joe right there. I think maybe Hanley got screened by this play. Look at where the runner is in front of him. That ball gets hit. Hanley not really moving, and then kind of took a dive for it afterwards.
Four straight singles for the Rockies with one out here in the 8th inning. Pinch hitter now, Andrew Brown will bat. He started the first 2 games of the series in right field. Former St. Louis Cardinal farmhand. Steve, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Dodgers have played 130 games. They have 32 left, including today. What would be a magic number that you would think they would need to win? How many do you have to win of these final 32 to realistically win the West?
4 games more than the Giants.
They got 6 with the Giants.
Well, yeah, they're 3.5 back.
I thought you were going to say 22. They got to go 22 and 10 rest of the way. 20.
That would be
20 and 12.
20 and 12 would be great. It would probably get it done too, but I've never been one of those guys that really tries to guess how many games. Are they going to win 95 games? Are they going to take that many games to win the West? I think it depends on so many factors. I'd like to see this team go on about an 8-game run. And as I said before, put a little more pressure on the Giants, maybe even get up in front of the Giants and see how they react to trying to play catch-up baseball.
Ball and 2 strikes to Brown. Two and 2. How about that run by the Rockies back in 2007? They went on a 21-1 run. Rockies back in 07 when they made that charge.
Unbelievable.
Went to their only World Series.
We talked about that with the World Series with the Red Sox. They got swept out of that, but if you'll remember, they had to wait because they swept everybody out of their playoffs. And then they had the bad weather. I believe it was 7 days where they did not play a game. They were the hottest team in baseball without question. I think if you ask a lot of the people around the Rocky organization, they actually believe that the Red Sox probably were a better team. But the Red Sox kept playing, and they came in here and played a Rocky team that hadn't played in more than a week and just pulverized them. 4 straight games. See you later.
3 and 2 to Brown. That's now 5 consecutive Rockies that have reached safely. How big does that grand slam home run by A.J. Ellis look now?
Tollison's got to figure out a way to get somebody out here.
Tollison has come on and given up singles to Nelson, LeMahieu, and a walk to Brown. Dexter Fowler batting left-handed. Something that he didn't start doing until he started pro ball. Was strictly a right-handed swinger until he was drafted and signed by the Rockies.
That is so late to try to become a switch hitter. With all your habits, everything you do from one side of the plate, and then start to play pro ball when you really have to make an impression to move up the ladder to get to the big leagues. They say, hit from the other side of the plate too. Let's see how you do. Difficult. We talked about Hanley Ramirez, who was a switch hitter when he was a kid, and when he signed a contract to play pro baseball, stopped switch hitting, went just to the right side.
2 balls and a strike. Tollison and A.J. Ellis conversing. Bases full of Rockies. Dodgers up comfortably, 10-3. But Dexter Fowler can make it uncomfortable with one swing of the bat. Fowler, part of a bronze medal winning Olympic team back in 08, the last year that baseball was in the Olympics. Fowler, part of Team USA that knocked off Yu Darvish and Japan in the bronze medal game. Another base hit. This will score a run. Station to station baseball for the Rockies. That is now 6 straight men that have reached safely.
That puts a lot of concern on the bench with Don Mattingly and Rick Honeycutt. He's going to come out, and I think he's seen enough.
Sean Tollison began the day as a single-A pitcher, was recalled from Rancho Cucamonga when Scott Elbert went on the disabled list. It has been a rough afternoon for Tollison in his return to the big leagues. Anyone. Gave up 3 singles, each of them scoring a run, and he walked a man. Still just 1 out. And the Dodgers going to the bullpen, bringing in a left-hander, Randy Choate.
Well, Randy's familiar with this position. This is his job. Coming in here with the bases loaded here and facing the lefty. I think if you're Randy Choate and this is what you do, you just soon have this situation. Put me in when the heat is on, and there's a lefty in there that's going to try to hit my stuff.
Choate against the first batter he faces when he comes into a game. That first batter hitting just 137 against him. 7 for 51 with 19 strikeouts. Tyler Colvin's had a nice series, had a home run back in Monday's game. Oh, 0-2. The Rockies have out-hit the Dodgers. Dodgers have a 10-4 lead, but the Rockies now with 13 hits. Each and every one of them have been a single. In this
40.
ballpark, to have 13 singles and no extra base hits, Jim Tracy's got to be saying, you know what? This never happens.
40 hits in the series for the Colorado Rockies.
And coming into this game, 13 of their 27 hits in the first 2 games were for extra bases. None of their 14 hits today for extra bases.
Choate with the slider off the plate there. And you would imagine he may try that again. Told you about Tyler Colvin and the year he had last year with the Cubs. He hit a .150, 6 homers and 20 RBIs. Was sent back to the minor leagues. Much better year. Keep the ball away from him here. Well, 2 years ago with the Cubs, he hit .254 with 20 homers.
But he almost died. Taking his lead off of third base against the Marlins and a broken bat. Got him right in the chest and punctured a lung. No laughing matter at all. He was hospitalized for close to a week. One-two pitch. Runners on at every base. LeMahieu at third, Brown at second, Fowler at first.
Now he's got Colvin leaning out over the plate, thinking that he's going to keep seeing those sliders away. So now a couple more weapons for Choate to use. He can stay out there thinking, well, that's still going to be my best pitch, or he can try to get in and jam him.
Oh, and he hit him. What a break that is for Tyler Colvin and the Rockies. Another run scores.
That's a little farther inside than I was thinking. Colvin looks at that as a good at-bat. And here comes Donnie again. And this is going to be probably some type of double switch now.
So Choate comes out of the bullpen, faces the left-hander Tyler Colvin, gets him down to the count 0-2, and then hits him. Still just 1 out. It's a 10-5 game. They were down big time heading into the bottom of the 8th inning. 10-1 was the score. First out was recorded here in the bottom of the 8th. But then 7 in a row have reached safely against this Dodger pitching staff. And again, the Dodgers have to go to the pen. This time it's Ronald Belisario.
This is hopefully a game for Don Mattingly where you didn't have to go deep into the guys that you generally rely on to save a game for you. This was a laugher, and now he's to the point where he's at the back half of his rotation. Guys that he has to rely on.
Double play ball to second. Hanley can't hang on and throw it to first, so they just get that one out at the middle of the diamond, and another run scores. Not sure they would have got Rutledge out at first anyway.
Tough play here. Punto has to reverse pivot, goes around, and then throws the ball a little inside to Hanley Ramirez. A little bit tougher for him to handle there when he's coming across the bag. Most shortstops would want that on the outside part of the base. Punto left that one on the inner half. Still got the one out, but that puts Colorado Rockies back in slam range. They do not have the bases loaded in this situation. Dusty Baker used to always say, hey, if we're getting beat badly in a game, just get me back to the point where a grand slam will tie it.
Second time this inning that Carlos Gonzalez has batted. He bounced out to second back when the second baseman was Mark Ellis. Dodgers have since double switched with Nick Punto, now the second baseman. Well fouled.
Well, for the greatness that is Cargo, the one thing that everybody will talk about is that he's a pretty good bad ball hitter, but he swings at everything. Not a very discerning hitter up there. Has never seen a pitch he doesn't like to hit. You can get him to chase bad balls.
Dodger pitching here in this 8th inning. Giving up 5 hits, all singles. They've issued a walk and hit a man. Darting fastball 95 miles per hour. And the count is full, 3-2.
A little bit about what we talked about right there. That pitch out of the strike zone. Gonzalez swings at it anyway. That would have loaded the bases for Pacheco.
With the full count and 2 outs, the runner on at first, Josh Rutledge will be off with the pitch. Rutledge on at first, Dexter Fowler, your runner at third. 5 runs have already been scored in this bottom of the 8th. They answer the 4 spot that the Dodgers put on and then some in the top of the 8th. That one's going to get through. Another run scores. Rutledge on his way to third. Ball gets away and Rutledge is going to try and come home. Rutledge scores, and it is now a 10-8 game. That'll be a single and an error.
I'll see where this pitch is again. Cargo off the plate, still hits it up the middle. Shane Victorino's going to try to barehand this ball. I'm not sure why. You can see it kind of snaking on him through the outfield grass there. That allows Cargo to get to second and Rutledge to score. I have another guy in scoring position.
Pacheco swings at the first pitch. Punto challenged, but makes a nice play. Finally, the inning draws to a close, but 7 times the Rockies cross home plate. It's a 10-8 Dodger lead. That 8th inning was huge for both sides. 11 home runs scored. Take a look at our Land Rover game summary. Big difference in the game has been the long ball. The Dodgers, they have hit a pair. Hanley Ramirez in the 3rd inning, a 2-run shot. And in the top of the 8th inning, first career grand slam for A.J. Ellis.
Thank goodness it was the Dodgers that are playing long ball today. Colorado Rockies have kind of pity-patted the team to death, but they have come all the way back in this game. Now 10-8 after scoring 7 in the 8th inning. This thing isn't over with. That's why we continually talk about in Coors Field. Sometimes the game kind of gets started after the 5th.
Matt Belisle will now pitch and try and keep the Dodgers off the board here in the 9th inning and give the Rockies a puncher's chance when we get to the bottom of the 9th. Hanley Ramirez, Luis Cruz, and Andre Ethier scheduled to bat here in the 9th inning. 22 home runs now for Hanley, 8 as a Dodger. 2 hopper. Nelson surrounds it. Out number 1. Dodgers have 11 hits. They have 9 singles and 2 home runs. Rockies have 14 hits. All of them have been singles. Cruz walked and scored an inning ago. It seems like 2 hours ago. Into right field. Colvin makes the play. Getaway day here in Denver. And then a homestand starts tomorrow. 4 games against the Diamondbacks. Nice pitching matchup. Tomorrow evening, Ian Kennedy against Clayton Kershaw. Clayton looking for his 13th win of the year. Still has that nice ERA, well below 3.
How about Ian Kennedy coming back too? Was not off to a good start. Has evened his record at 500.
Ethier 1 for 3 with the walk. He scored ahead of A.J. Ellis when Ellis hit his grand slam in the 8th inning.
This would be a good time for Andre Ethier to maybe inch just a little closer to the plate, try to get something middle in and pop it into the seats. Andre doesn't swing for the fences very often. He's got kind of a patterned swing. It's worked for him well. Occasionally, though, one extra insurance run might be nice.
Baltimore chop. Look at how high that ball is. Nelson, not in time. Infield single.
That ball hit the plate, I'm pretty sure. And Andre Ethier got an outstanding jump out of the box, and we've seen all year long, because of the fact that he doesn't have the knee problems he had last year. Watch this ball bounce. Boink, right off the plate. Look at his jump. Well down the line. By the time Nelson gets a hold of it, beats it out. Get down that line.
Base hit number 129 on the year for Ethier. Juan Rivera, he's reached base 3 times today. A double, a single, and a walk. He scored twice. Fly ball to right field. Easy play for Tyler Colvin. Side is retired. All right, white knuckle time. Bottom of the 9th inning. Dodgers trying to hold him and go home. Up by 2. Bottom of the 9th inning, what had been a laugher. No one's laughing anymore. Dodgers were up 10-1. Bottom of the 8th inning, and 7 times the Rockies were able to score in that 8th inning. So it is a 10-8 ball game. This is a save situation for Belisario, who came on and got the last 2 outs of the 8th. First man he faces, Ramon Hernandez. Dodgers trying to salvage the 3rd and final game of the series.
Well, we did not ask Don Mattingly about the availability of Kenley Jansen today. I guess I assume that he would be available, but you would think that he'd be in the game right now if Don Mattingly thought he could use him.
Little number. Cruz makes the play. Just a reminder, folks, Dodgers Live coming your way. Patrick O'Neill along with us. We'll guide you through what's been a really exciting game. So many things to talk about for both sides. Right now, the big difference, a couple of home run balls. One by Hanley Ramirez, a 2-run shot in the third, and a grand slam by A.J. Ellis. That was in the 8th inning. Chris Nelson has been a thorn in the side of Dodger pitching all series long. One and one. Dodgers playing a game without Matt Kemp. Left knee bone bruised. Just trying to hold on. A little bit inside. Ronald Belisario does not have a save on the season. Of course, he didn't play at all last year. He's on the restricted list. So this would be his first save in almost 2 full years. Three-hit day for Chris Nelson.
That's a fastball that's 95 miles an hour, but it just catches too much of the plate. Belisario's got to work a little harder on finding some corners. Watch location.
Wow, since 1918, almost a century, the Dodgers have only lost one game when they had at least a 9-run lead.
Well, you'd hope so.
August of 1990. DJ LeMahieu. Another 2-hit game for him. LeMahieu with 5 hits in the series. One and two. Now, the way the Rockies have been doing it, nickel and diming the Dodgers. No extra base hits so far through the first 8 and the third. They have 15 hits today, but all 15 of those hits have been singles.
It's really unbelievable when you think of the spacious ballpark and the way the ball flies out of here. The Dodgers with a couple home runs. The Rockies have hit home runs earlier in this series.
It's now even 2 and 2.
A.J. Ellis is really upset. A.J. thought that ball was a strike. He's got his mask off and he's screaming. Something you almost never see him do. I think A.J. felt like they had LeMahieu set up for a pitch on the outer half of the plate. He got what he was looking for and didn't get the call.
Punto, double play ball. Ramirez to first, and the Dodgers hang on. Well, it was worth the agony. The Dodgers finally win a game here at Coors Field. They take the series finale. Final score is a gut-wrenching 10-8. And A.J. Ellis, even with the win in hand, is still upset. This is the pitch that made A.J. so upset. Thought he had LeMahieu struck out, and they probably did. Now chalk it up to delayed gratification. They don't strike out LeMahieu there, but they force him into hitting into a game-ending 4-6-3 double play. This is actually live, folks. Instead of celebrating a win, Don Mattingly is having a word with the crew chief. That's Jim Joyce. And Don is just making sure his voice is heard. Was not happy with the strike zone of Lance Barrett here in the 9th inning. So the 3-game losing streak is over. The Dodgers now with 70 wins on the year. They're 70-61. As we speak, 3 games out in the West, pending what happens today in Houston between the Giants and the Astros. Winning pitcher Joe Blanton, his first as a Dodger. Drew Pomeranz takes the loss. A couple of home runs in the game, both by Dodgers. Hanley Ramirez, his 22nd, and A.J. Ellis, his 11th, his first big league grand slam. Well, standing by with one of the heroes of the game is Patrick O'Neill. Patrick, take it away.
Okay, Eric, thanks a lot. AJ, I'm on live. If you don't mind, we'll just make it quick. All right. Hey, Joe, can you get some water for AJ? We'll get that into you right now. First off, no, it's okay. Obviously not the way you wanted to end it, right? I got a little too close.
No, it's this time of the year. As in all time, we'll take a win. And we're getting out of here, salvage the series, and get on a flight and get back home.
I noticed that Don was a little upset. You were upset as well with what was going on behind the plate. Can you tell me? Here's a glass of water. First, we'll give you a sip.
Yeah, just fighting for my pitchers. Borderline pitches that I felt like throughout the course of the game might have been called strikes. And then when the game got tighter, things kind of changed. Got to take a look at them. Maybe there's a chance he was right and I was wrong. But I just want to fight for my guys. And these are big pitches and we need in a close game.
Obviously the last couple of innings, not what we wanted. We talked about that. But Blanton gets his first win as a Dodger, put up some zeros, went 7 1/3, and gives you guys a chance to win.
Yeah, Joe was outstanding. It's what we needed. We needed a chance to put some runs up and get in the lead. As most teams, we're a lot better when we're playing in front. And we were able to get a lead and hold on to it. And that was
you got that lead because of, it turns out, your grand slam, your first in the bigs, by the way. First since Little League.
Video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, how does that feel? Do you remember who you hit it off of, and what are you going to remember about the moment?
It was just, at the time, I felt like it was just adding on some runs, and now looking back, I'm more than happy that it happened because it was proved to be runs we desperately needed. So just good to contribute, be a part of the team, and get a win and get back home to Arizona.
Well, good job getting that one out of the way. Thanks so much for stopping. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Patrick.
Okay, appreciate it. A.J. Ellis. If you were catching for 4 hours, you'd be a little bit thirsty as well. Dodgers Live when we come back. Stay there.